Hello everyone, it is Michael here with Michael Loves Crafts. Welcome back. Today we have a video all about the Brutus Monroe Lots of Love January inspiration box. So I know I did an unboxing and I have finally got around to making some cards, so we're gonna jump right in. I tried to film this video earlier and there were some issues. So some of the cards are already done, which I'm going to show you at the end, and I'm going to just kind of walk you through how I made those ones. But I'm going to continue with what I had planned for the ones that aren't completed. So first of all, I took a piece of the printed vellum that came out with the inspiration box. It came out like during this release. So there's a whole sheet of printed vellum. I believe I can show you. Yeah. So it has all of these different Valentine's designs. This didn't come in the box, but it complements the box really nicely. So I wanted to use it in this video. I am using something from the box with this. So I chose the Bouquet of Roses design, and I used the pink melon foil. So I already foiled this, so we're just gonna peel that off. It has, I don't know if you can see it on the video as good as I can, but it has a really good shine. It's like a nice soft pink. So I thought that was really, really pretty. And I'm just going to be putting this onto a pink card base. I made this card base from the paper right in the inspiration box. So I'm actually just gonna pop this right over here, but I'm going to take one of the doilies from the box and do a little bit of ink blending. So I'm just gonna take this craft doily and I'm going to, here I got some on here. I'm going to just kind of put it up at the edge here. And then I just have some Rouge Surface ink. I'm just gonna dip into there with an ink blender. And I just really wanna get the corners of this card with some of this doily print. I think it kind of just adds a little bit of a nice touch to the card, because this is a fairly simple card. You see, it just kind of adds that little bit of extra on the edge there. So we're just gonna continue on with this, and I'm gonna go and do this in all 4 of the corners. So we get a nice little something extra around the edge of the card here. So I just got back from Creativation, you guys. It was such a fun time. I got to meet so many people. If I met you there, it was so good to see you, to meet you, to talk to you. I really loved it. It was definitely a really good experience, and I would recommend it. For sure, recommend it. Okay, so now that I did that part, set that aside. And then once we put this vellum over top, so it is cut to the edge, so you'll be able to see that stuff underneath. So I'm just gonna run a tape runner kind of around the parts that are printed so you can't see the adhesive. I'm gonna try to do this like pretty carefully, but we'll see. So it definitely will give center that as much as possible so it's straight. Get that popped right on top there. And then if you want, you could add some sequins. This really pretty sequin mix came in the box. You can add those around. But I really just wanted to take something really simple and make like a really easy card here. So that was definitely super simple. Just foiled that. Has a nice shine. There's no sentiment on the front. It's like a really nice note card. Just boom, done. So that was one of the easy ones. Another thing I wanted to show you, I did use this stamp set on some shrink film earlier because I haven't really worked a lot with shrink film, but I wanted to try. So this is how it comes to you. So basically I just stamped this unicorn image onto the film and I colored it. So this one, I hope you can see it, I colored this with alcohol marker. And then this version, I colored this with colored pencil. I think I actually like the colored pencil better. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna use these for, but I did want to show it to you guys. So you can see that that's another cool thing that you can add to your cards. And you can use it with smaller stamps, bigger stamps, however you please. So another thing I did, there are cut files on brutusmonroe.com. If you are a subscriber, you get them for free. And one of the cut files is the masks for all of these images. So let's just, so this one fits over the little cat, and this one fits over the little bird. I did actually use the other two for something else that I will show you in a little bit. So for this case, I think maybe we're gonna use the bird. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We're gonna take this little bird out, and I have a card base here. I just made this from the Brutus Monroe whitewash cardstock. It's one of the newer colors. I absolutely love this color. It's like a white craft paper. It's really, really pretty. It has like kind of like almost like a vintage feel. So what I'm gonna do is just put this little bird right in the center. Ooh. And then I'm gonna just stamp it out with some Raven detail ink. So I wanna get a really nice crisp image of this bird, and I think we're gonna go in with some aqua pigments and paint her up. Okay, I wanna make sure we get a really good image of this. Wipe this off of there. These stamps are so cute. I absolutely love this stamp set this month. Well, I actually love all of them. But this month in particular, I think Valentine's Day is just such a fun, it's a fun little holiday. You know, you can give some, there's like, you can give Valentine's to everyone and anyone, you know? It doesn't have to just be someone you know, you're in love with. It could be, you know, your friends, your coworkers, whoever, the mailman. Because nothing says you care like a handmade greeting. Okay, so I just wanted to clean the stamp off real quick because I think it's so important to get your stamps clean right as you use them. Because if you don't, a lot of times you might forget about it. And if you forget about it, then you just have a whole bunch of dirty stamps. Nobody wants a dirty stamp, right? Okay, so let's just pop this out of here. Oh, there goes the magnet. I think we're done with this for now. All right, so this hopefully is pretty dry. So basically what will happen, wait, is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. So this mask piece will fit directly over top of the image. You just peel off the backer, and then the side that has the printing on, the Brutus Monroe, that's the side that you want to stick down. Make sure we get it good, because I want to do a little bit of like an ink blend around this. So I'm just going to go right back into that rouge because I love the rouge. I think the pink is just such a pretty color. And I'm just going to go right around the whole thing. And then this way, when we lift off this mask, we'll have a nice clean surface to put our aqua pigments on, or you could color this. And then I just kind of want to take this out a little bit, but not all the way to the edge. So I'm kind of just trying to use the ink that's on there to take this out a little further. I'm also have been seeing a lot of things that you guys have been creating with this box, and it's like so stunning to me. Everyone that I see is doing such a good job, and I absolutely love it. Perfect. All right, you guys. So the next thing that I want to try to do here is take a different ink blending tool. Let me grab here's a fresh one. And I'm going to take some of the alabaster ink from the Brutus Monroe. And I'm going to take the laser cut chipboard piece that was inside the box. So I'm just going to take this and kind of use it as a stencil. Oh, Louie, my cat, is trying to say hello. Say hello to everyone. Yeah? Okay. Well, I'm glad he was able to make an appearance in this video today. We'll see if he's off hanging around for a little bit. And off he goes. Wow. That was my cat, you guys. Every so often he likes to come in. So I'm just going to take, oh, he's back. Okay, so Louie, I'm going to set you down. Yeah, you're okay, buddy. Poor guy. So I'm just going to take this chipboard piece and kind of lay it across the card like this. Yeah, just like that. And then all I'm going to do is take a little bit of purple tape. And tape it on so it doesn't really move. Okay, and then I'm gonna kind of use this as if it were a stencil. So I'm gonna get this alabaster kind of really inked up on here. And I'm kind of just going right over top of all of this to add in just a little element of this white. It'll add a little more shape and, you know, some cool like texture, hopefully, to the card. Hopefully this works out the way that I think it's gonna work out. We'll see, right? And then you can always go in later and use this chipboard piece for something else. You can put embossing powder on it, which I will show you something I did with that in a little bit. Okay, I think that's probably good for the time being. Just take the little tape off and see what we're left with here. Okay, so as you can see, it's just kind of like a subtle little bit of hearts just on the card. And I'm going to set all of this aside because we won't need it anymore. And now I'm just going to carefully try to peel back this mask. Oh. Come on. There we go. Okay, so now that we've got that peeled off, we have this like kind of whitish pink, but then we have the image of our little birdie in the center there. So for the next part, I'm just gonna paint in some aqua pigments. I have some various colors here. I have this like pearl color, so I'm just going to take like a little tiny bit of each of these, and I kind of want them to be like the full force of the pigment, so I am going to use water brush. I just am not going to have water in the brush because I really want to get that like full color of the pigment. This color is called Dahlia. It's one of my absolute favorite like all-time colors. So what's going on here? Shake her up. Well, we're just gonna pour it in. I think this is the one that I broke. I broke the tip off of one of these little droppers. That actually I think is the one. Blue. This one's like the silvery color. This is a red. This one is another pink. It's like kind of similar to the Dahlia, but it's like a little more of a hot pink. All right. So, water brush it is, and I'm just gonna quickly go through and paint in these hearts, you guys. like I said, you can do this however you want. You could do this with markers. You could do this with, like I'm doing, with watercolor. You could do this with colored pencil. Whatever your heart desires. I always think that using a water brush and watercolors is probably one of the most calming things that you can do. I just find it to be so calming. Okay, so now let's dip in that dahlia that I love and go over here. Now I'm just putting this directly onto the cardstock. This isn't watercolor paper or aqua pigment paper, which would actually take these a lot better. But it still works. It still does the trick. It'll dry and it'll look really pretty. And these are all metallic colors. So they really kind of pop. Anyways, they have that nice little bit of shimmer. This is just like a really pretty purple. I think that this is called Grape. I will check in a moment, but I'm pretty sure that's what this one is. Actually, put another purple one back here. Okay. So, I'm gonna do this like hot pink. Come down to the front. I'm thinking maybe I should make the bird yellow. How about that? And these aqua pigments go like a really long way, you guys. So even if you don't use everything that's like in your palette, you can let it dry and then reactivate it later if you want. I have actually like several of these palettes for that specific reason, because sometimes I put too much in the palette and I don't like to waste. So I can always come back to it later and do something cool. So I think I'm actually just gonna go in and do these glasses in like the pearl. pretty. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go over here too and do another purple heart. And then what else? We have like 2 more hearts to do. Let's go back into the red. We only have 1 red heart. I think maybe we'll make her little bow red too. Because she's little Valentine's bird, right? Okay. Right, we're almost there, you guys. Just gotta fill in this part. Okay. So I think what we'll do is that pink. And then I can even put a little bit of the pearl like around the eye. Just shine that up a little bit. Perfect. Now let me just go and grab the yellow. That's one thing I didn't have ready because I didn't think about it. But this aqua pigment, it was one of the aqua pigments of the month. It is called Buttercup. It's a really pretty yellow. Squeeze some of that in there. And then I think we're just gonna paint a little bird with this pretty metallic yellow. And I'm doing this like really quickly, you guys. I don't really want to, I don't have a metallic orange here, so I just went right over that beak. And I'm just gonna kind of fill all this in with the yellow. You can totally use other colors just for the essence of time here. I'm just gonna fill all this in with the same color. Okay, perfect. So I'm just gonna wipe this brush off, pop the lid back on. And we're gonna let this dry for a few moments, but basically that's kind of the direction we were headed in this card. We're just gonna put a little sentiment at the bottom. I think we might even just use this, see if it fits. Hugs and kisses. Or maybe we'll put it at the top. I kind of like it better at the bottom, I think. Yeah, that's gonna have to go at the bottom. So let's just go ahead and get the Misty back out. Might as well just do it now, get it done, right? Okay. Let's get our little magnets in. So it's gonna kind of set a little bit, which is okay. But I'm just gonna position that right there. And I think I'm just gonna do it right with the black. The Raven, tried and true. Pop that on. And again, this is like a relatively fast card, you guys. But it's a cute card. At least I think. You guys might not think it's a cute card. But I do. Perfect. And then we have our little hugs and kisses. Little bird card. So like I said, I'm just going to set that over there and let it dry for a little bit because it does absolutely need to dry. The aqua pigments are not set yet and I don't want to, you know, kind of rub that and get it in the wrong place. Get it smeared all over everything. That would probably be the worst. But at any rate, we'll clean up this stamp real fast. And I'm going to just show you something real fast. We're not going to make a card out of this just yet, but I'm going to show you something that you can do with the embossing folder. So basically, these, the heart embossing folder that came in the kit, I just cut a piece of the blue paper that also came in the inspiration box, and I'm just gonna pop this whole embossing folder right through my embossing machine. I'm using the Anna Griffin Empress Mini. It was a little Christmas present to myself. And I'm really excited about it. Right. Take that out. Kind of slipped there. I put the plates in wrong, I think. But at any rate, so now we have this nice embossed heart, and that, like, you guys, that looks really, really cool. It's like really nice and raised. But basically, what I was saying that you could do with this is, let me make sure this is, nice and juicy. You could just take like this alabaster and kind of just touch over this a little bit. And you get like a little bit of an antique look. It's really hard to see, I'd imagine, on the camera, but it kind of just touches it. Or if you wanted to go for a darker color, you could take the rouge and just kind of like dust over this a little bit. You don't really need that much. Just a tiny bit. And then that way you like really get the texture of this, and you can even go like outside the edge and really kind of rub that around so you have like a nice kind of finished edge there. But the moral of my story here, and the point of this, is that once you have embossed it and then added that ink around it, you really get the texture and it really shows. So, you know, if you just pop this like onto a card base, you could cut this out, you know, however you wanted. Even if you wanted to just like, just cut this out real quick. You could totally fussy cut like around every little piece of it. And but you don't have to. And again, I'm just showing you this as an example of something you can do. You feel free to create your own little idea there, but basically you could just pop something like that on as like another part of a card, you know, and it'll fit nicely and you see all that texture. So there's like a lot you could do with this particular embossing folder. I think it's really cool. Or you could honestly just emboss just the front of a card. Like you could just totally do that and that would work just the same. So that's a little piece of advice for you. So the other thing that I wanted to really just show you next were the cards that I made in the previous video. That unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened when I was filming it, but that's okay. I'm gonna show these cards to you anyways. So the first one I'm going to show you is this card. It says hugs and kisses, and it has the XO, the hearts, the love. So basically, all I did for this was I cut out a card panel, and then I took the XO stamp and the love stamp, and I positioned them in different colored inks all over the card and kind of covered it. And I even used the little hearts that come, there's two different like small heart stamps. I used that. And then I took a circle die and I cut out the center of the card and I popped it up with just like a little bit of foam tape so it's up a little bit. I heat embossed the hugs and kisses in the center and glued on 3 of the little heart sprinkles. So we have this little hugs and kisses card. So I thought that was really fun. So then the next one that I made, I utilized the foilable panels. Look at this, you guys. This one's probably one of my favorites. So I took the foilable panel and I used the iridescent foil from Deco Foil. And then I took the chipboard piece that came in the box and I used the embossing powder over the whole chipboard piece. And then from there, I just glued a piece of glitter stock down the center because I trimmed the chipboard. So as you can see, it's a lot bigger. Oh, my cats are playing right now, if you can hear that. You guys, can you please settle down? Settle down. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I have 2 cats. You only met the one today. The other one, Winnie, she's always causing a little fight. But anyways, so I trimmed this in half and then cut a little bit off. So I heat embossed with the sparkle embossing powder. And then I stamped this image onto glitter stock and then heat embossed the Raven embossing powder. And then what I was able to do was color the whole image with alcohol markers, because I don't know if you guys know, but you can color on the white glitter stock with alcohol marker and it turns out this really stunning, like sparkly image. And then I just put the XO at the top and bottom as like a nice sentiment. So that's the second one I made. And then this other one I made, I love too, because I utilized one of the cut files from Brutus Monroe. So if you're a subscriber to Brutus Monroe, you get free cut files on the website at all times. Any of the cut files that are on there and any that are added, if you're a subscriber, you get them free. So this heart background, I resized it so it fits exactly on an A2 card. And I cut this out of the Deco Foil peel and stick toner sheets. So let me just pull those up here. So this is what those come. I actually have another one cut in here too. So I just cut it out of this and then I foiled it with the red static foil. And then the cool part is you're left with all of these foiled hearts. So they're like little stickers you could stick onto a card later, you know, or you could use these little pieces, whatever you want. But this is definitely something I will save because I think this will be very useful. So basically, that's all I did. I kind of stuck that on. I glued the ribbon on from the box. And then this circle that I stamped this on is the circle I cut out of this card. I just flipped it over so it was a fresh slate, and then I stamped the "You Are Loved" sentiment from here right on the center, and I took the rouge and kind of just ink blended around it. I glued a couple sequins on and then stuck one of those heart stickers there. And then you have this like really cool card. So these are the 3 cards using the supplies from the box that I made ahead of time, off camera, intended to be on camera. And then the background I used here came from the brand new Paper Hearts paper pad collection. So that is the background that I used. And then speaking of the cut files, I do want to show you one more card that I made. And I made this using only the cut files. So I did the background hearts, again, like I did on this card, except I filled them in this time. And then I also used this love cut file, which is another cut file available to you on brutusmonroe.com. So that's another Valentine's Day card that I thought was really fun and I wanted to share with you guys. So aside from that, so I made these ones. And we made this really simple card, but it has that nice sparkle. And then we also have this little birdie card. So this is everything that I was able to make so far from the Lots of Love inspiration box. If you guys don't subscribe to this box, I would highly recommend it. I think it's a great value. There's so many different styles of cards you can make, and that's what I was trying to show in this video with this range of projects, that there's so much versatility of any style, any skill, whatever you want to do, totally create your own ending. And with that, I'm going to let you guys go, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Bye now.